All right, I watched the interview between Gina Carano and Ben Shapiro on the Daily Wire. It will be available tomorrow for free on YouTube, so you can catch that, although I do recommend you subscribe to the Daily Wire. Oh, yeah. So obviously I'm biased in a lot of these discussions and whatnot, and I'm certainly biased towards Gina's predicament. But the interview pretty much confirmed the narrative of all of this. And, she talks about she was bullied on at Disney or Lucasfilm and all that. And said saw other people and really a long time ago understood that she was more than likely going to be let go. And but just the whole background of deception and lying, and it's fine for people to lie about her, but it's not fine for her to respond, and all this on and on and on, just how unfair they were to her, and the nature of that. And of course, the sad thing about it is that she did make a lot of friends there. She still considers Pedro a friend, and really likes the man and all this sort of stuff. And says, yeah, he posted some stuff that probably shouldn't have, but that's no reason to completely condemn him. And for the most part, people that are on the side of Gina, including myself, is that I don't think he should be fired. Rumors sounds like he's on his way out anyway, because apparently the relationship was not a good one. And we're probably he'll be dubbing the lines because wears the helmet, even though he took it off a lot in season 2, but he's already signed up for another series, The Last of Us, for HBO Max. So, and that's a chief competitor in these ongoing streaming wars. So the signs are there that there's trouble afoot beyond social media posts and whatnot. So, and that's the sad thing. And there's lots of people, a lot of jobs at stake for a show like Mandalorian and stuff. And so in the anger of canceling Disney Plus, it's unfortunate that all these people have to suffer for the idiocy of a few who were, in charge. But the strange thing about it is why did it have to come this way? Well, it's just the politics of it. And it's revealed, and her account is backed up by the Hollywood Reporter take on it, where he had the media guy, Judah. Damn it, I'm forgetting the name. Well, it's up there. I'll have the image of the quote about how you have to, you have to acquiesce to the left. You have to, in fact, not post anything that pisses them off, but you have to post things that they like. And it's like, why? There's no business reason for it, because I've seen no evidence whatsoever that this costs money to piss them off. It seems to be quite the opposite when you piss everybody else off. And I don't just mean people who are hard right wing or what have you and that sort of thing. Even people who consider themselves liberals get in trouble with Twitterverse because I would submit that the left were never really liberal. They claim they are, but what are they liberal about? Virtually nothing. Everything is Stalinist forced and all that, and you must obey and all that. There's nothing liberal about that. So you think, oh, well, I voted Democrat all my life. You're perfectly certain you're not. They will take you down. And primarily the psychosis that is Twitterverse is their only joy in life is punishing people and whatnot. But so I referred to it as a cult-like mindset, and it just is. Now, sometimes a lot of this superficial virtue signaling, whatnot, that you'll see with casting choices, whether it's gender swapping, race swapping, all this sort of stuff that goes on. But they're passionate about this cause. Not really. It's more to appease the cult. But more times than not, when it happens, it's also kind of shielding and cover for a very lackluster plot or script or what have you for whatever the film or television show is. And they utilize this. So there's a lot of shill support in media outlets and on social media and whatnot. But that is increasingly on the decrease, increasingly decreasing. And because of the shill nature of it, after a while, people know that it's either there's all icing and no cake, or there's not even icing. The icing isn't real; it's plastic. And you know a bad movie when you see one. And so the difference, the massive difference between critic scores and audience scores on sites like Rotten Tomatoes and whatnot, constantly spells this out. And yet the circle of power in Hollywood continues desperately trying to please a few, and it does not pay off. Ghostbusters was that template of Ghostbusters keeps happening over and over again. And it paid off for Ghostbusters in 2016. No, it didn't. And yet this keeps happening with other franchises and all that. And it's like I said, more than just the crappy leftist politics that can turn people off. It's the idea that the crappy leftist politics is there as a shield, because the movie itself, even if it didn't have any of that in it, it would still be bad. So by the metrics I've shown, the article here, she's very believable in the interview about what happened and what went on there. And it's just a weird schoolyard type environment within this cult-like thing, and you must do this. And there's even an exchange she had with some media, a person who came to try to set her straight for the company, which obviously at the end of it, after they had a conversation, she was fine with her. Of course, that's the way this goes. When you actually have human interactions with people, all this nastiness of Twitterverse, you realize how fake it all is. But the point of the matter is I believe this person, I believe it was a woman, I can't remember, told her that, well, look, you gave a very logical response to an emotional reaction. That's not how that works. And it just goes to show you, logical meaning based in reality, reason. And then you're supposedly having an argument here. Gina presents her logical response, and it just makes it worse. That tells you who's on the more solid footing here. Yet Disney decides to go with the psychotic reaction. And where does that get you? And most notably, the most recent metric of Kathleen Kennedy and ridiculous video she put on for the Oscar channel. And then, of course, they had to ban all the comments and shut down the response because it was so overwhelming. What the state of affairs is. And for Star Wars, it's just another incredible example of how a big franchise can fall so low, so fast. And yet they had this resurgence, they had this return, and that was Favreau, who did that with Mandalorian. And it's all gone within a month. And for the Disney company, I think you're going to give out political sermons on human rights and social issues and whatnot when you thanked the Chinese government while they're putting people in concentration camps. And that's the least of what they're doing to those people. You have no foundation from which to preach to anybody. And, you can go all out for the big market of China. So that's how far you're willing to sell out of your so-called values, and shrinking John Boyega's picture on the poster. And, so you have no voice, really, no credibility on any of this. You probably should just stick to the action and adventure, and should have kept Gina there. But, she wouldn't bend the knee, so you lost your mind and shot yourself in the foot. So bizarre. But that's what it is. So the interview, I do recommend it. And it pretty much confirms the whole narrative. She doesn't name some names because, for obvious reasons, there's people still there. There's people who tried to help her, tried to take her side, and unfortunately they didn't win. Whether that includes Favreau himself, I don't know. So Favreau is in a bit of a tight spot. As Gina got fired, but there's so many other people that he's responsible for and all of this. And, of course, his own desire of what he devoted time to build this thing, and now it's all falling apart. The bad fit to do this twice to your Star Wars fan base. Whatever great idea he has, I just don't think it'll be enough to restore this. Says, oh, you got to sucker us in one more time, and then what else are they going to do? I mean, the Twitterverse is probably going to turn their attention to Rosario Dawson now. What are you going to do then? Your Ahsoka Tano actress, you're gonna fire her too? Now expecting consistency from all of this, don't, because remember, it's all whacked out emotion. It's nothing logical. It's nothing based on reality. So sign up at the Daily Wire and get ready for a Gina Carano product coming there, and we'll see what they do. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.